in here.
Born in
Heinzendorf,
Austria, July 22nd, 1822. He was raised on a farm until age 11 when one of his teachers saw his aptitude for learning and he was sent to a school in
Trapa,
and continued his education and graduated with honors. After graduation, Mendel enrolled in a 2-year program at the Philosophical Institute of the University of
Olmutz,
He studied physics and mathematics. He suffered from episodes of severe depression where he would quit all of his studies for a short time. He eventually graduated from this program in 1843. After this, Mendel was against his father's wishes of running the family farm and started studying to become a monk. He joined the Augustinian order and was given the name Gregor.
These are words that rhyme with Mendel according to the interwebs. Bangle, candle, dental, gentle, handle, lentil, mendel, metal, mental, metal, rental, temple, tremble, assemble, dissemble, judgmental, Nintendo, accidental, bay of Bangle, compartmental, continental, departmental, detrimental, disassemble, elemental, fundamental, governmental, heredity, incidental, incremental, instrumental, monumental, occidental, oriental, ornamental, reassemble, regimental, sentimental, supplemental, temperamental, transcendental, coincidental, developmental, environmental, experimental, transcontinental, intercontinental. Compliments of rhymezone.com. Other scientists thought that a sperm or egg contained a miniature adult waiting to be born. Remember, this was in like the 1800s where they wore like classy shoes. So, yeah, they had some pretty crazy ideas. The idea where a sperm contained a mini human being was called the spermist theory, and the idea that a female's egg contained a human being that just had to grow was called the ovist theory. And these are both called preformationist ideas, meaning that the baby was already formed inside one of the male or female sexual cells and then just had to grow.
Whereas Mendel's research continued over as many as 8 years between 1856 and 1863 and involved tens of thousands of individual plants. Gregor Mendel during his research came up with two popular conclusions. The law of segregation, which established that there are dominant and recessive traits passed on randomly from parent to offspring, and provided an alternative to blending inheritance, the dominant theory of the time. And the law of independent assortment, which established that traits were passed on independently of other traits from parents to offspring. He also proposed that this heredity followed basic statistical law. A thing to also know that because he did all this research and such, Mendel pretty much had no love life. We couldn't find any lover in his life.
Basically what Mendel did in his garden was create purebred peas by making pea plants self-pollinate. They can actually do this because peas contain both male and female sexual organs. Anyways, so in order to create purebred peas, he had to put bags over them to keep them from pollinating with each other. And once he had purebred peas, he carefully pollinated them by hand. Have you ever tried to pollinate plants by hand? I haven't, but it's probably pretty hard. He kept track of certain traits, such as flower color, plant height, seed color, seed shape, pod color, and pod shape. Dominant and recessive alleles. Mendel pollinated a purebred white and a purebred purple together. They made 100% purple flowers in the first generation and had 75% purple with 25% white in the second generation, showing that white wasn't lost in the first generation, but it was actually just hidden by the purple or dominant allele. Even though he died in 1884, his contribution to science wasn't actually recognized until probably like 30 years after.
Like Kaylee said, Gregor Mendel's work wasn't really recognized until 30 years after his death, when 3 groups of scientists rediscovered his work and did the same tests as he performed. They got the same results and confirmed his theories and conclusions, and they credited him with the research results. Because of his findings, scientists were able to understand more about modern genetics, as well as being able to explain the theories of evolution with the changes in allele frequencies over time.